Hey YouTube, what's going on? We got a video for you today on this Kansept knife in here in front of us. This is the Kansept Convict. Sheepdog knives design. Guys should be familiar with sheepdog knives. He does all the mini sheepdogs for Kaiser, any of the sheepdogs. And this is a collaboration with Kansept knives. So same designer. You can see very similar profile to a lot of his blades. I want to talk first a minute about Kansept. This is my third knife with them. Also going to be doing a video on the Main Street, and then I had the video on the Cryo. And their packaging is awesome, first of all. Some of the best packaging you'll get in the business, I think. A nice box here with your brochure, but then you get these little cases. These are nice to store your knives in, so if you want to. Most of us store them like a Pelican style case or, you know, a Spider pack, something like that, but still nice packaging. So that's a nice little extra perk I think you get. Not a make or break, but I was just impressed because all their knives come like it. But the Convict is one that caught my eye immediately. I liked the sheep's foot blade. I liked the handle design. It looked very neutral. Looked like it had good ergos. I liked the thumb, I don't know what to call this, thumb ramp. Thumb ramp would be up here. It's a thumb stud, but it's just like very staggered and like stepped. It's very different. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. But let's talk about the basic specs on this guy first. First, you got a 7.52 inch overall length, which is a good size in my opinion. Really good for EDC. Blade is 3.3. Handle is 4.22 inches. Blade thickness is 0.14. S35 VN steel. Comes in a few different finishes. This finish, there's also a like black washed, all black wash finish. I think there's one other one. We're gonna be blue titanium. It weighs in just over 4 ounces, so really good size for EDC. Again, good size, good weight. Really just checks all the boxes. Let's do some size comparisons here. Pair 3 with some fresh fat carbon scales on it. It's nearly identical in size, a little more cutting edge, but about the same handle length. Pair 3 is maybe a titch longer in the handle. So we'll leave that one there. The bug out, I think these are two of the most popular knives out there, so good comparisons. The bug out's just slightly larger, so it's right in between the size of those two. My perfect size EDC. And how about the Brian Brown's Jaeger M? Very hot knife right now. So around the same size. So this is my wheelhouse. This is my, you know, I don't mind a little bit bigger knife, but I don't like to go smaller than this, but this is really, I think, perfect size for me. So other specs on this guy, let's look at the behind the edge thickness, because this was one thing that I was impressed with on this knife when I first got it. You know me, I'm all about thin behind the edge knives. I think it just makes them cut a lot better. It's called blade geometry. It's not rocket science. This is hard to get on camera though. That's not right. What in the world? Hold on 2 seconds. I'm coming at this from a weird angle. When I measured this before, it was like 16 thousandths or something like that. 16. I can't get on camera. 16. I moved the thing, but take my word for it. 16 thousandths behind the edge. So nice and thin behind the edge. Good slicer. This blade shape is super excellent. Sheep's foots are known for having for cutting like cardboard, rope, you know, fibrous materials. Really good blade shape for that. And you'll see in the footage here in a minute, processed quite a bit of cardboard with this guy and the Main Street. And there's just something about a Wharncliffe or sheep's foot blade shape that is super good. So if you cut a lot of cardboard, that's like your main, I mean, when I did my survey a few weeks ago, that was the #1 thing people cut with their knives. Sheep's foot blade, Wharncliffe blade is honestly your best choice for cardboard, I think. Drop points do fine, but just that straight edge makes a really nice, you know, think about a box cutter. How is a box cutter designed? It's a razor blade with a straight edge, right? So essentially a sheep's foot or Wharncliffe. So really good for that. Here's the knife. Started centering, it was perfectly centered. The action is, let's talk about action. It's part of the review process. It is so smooth, like almost, it's on bearings, and it's just very, very smooth. I haven't done anything to the pivot, haven't done anything to the You haven't added any oil, and it's just really, really nice. Like, it has a very, like, I would call buttery smooth action. So I really, really dig the action on this guy. There actually is a little bit of oil in there from the factory. Ergonomics are fantastic. Did quite a bit of cutting, like a lot of cardboard processing. Did my standard wood cuts to find out ergos. It's a little thin in the handle. The handle is less than a half an inch thick. Not a lot though. 0.43 inches. So actually pretty substantial. So it's a pretty thin knife, which tends to not lead to good ergonomics. Like the bug out's also a very thin knife, right? And I have no problem with the bug out ergonomics at all. So it's not always the case. The bug out is 0.37 inches, so it's even thinner. But it's good. It's right there. I like it closer to half an inch. Just I think it gives you good ergonomics. I don't like really over half an inch too much because I think it's too thick. So it's a good thickness in the handle. So it's nice, and it's nice and thin. If you like thin knives, this would be a good choice for you as well. The pocket clip is not deep carry. Dang it. I'm not gonna get this in one take, are we? All right, sorry, I had to take my pants off to show you how they carry in the pocket. Just kidding. I wasn't actually wearing these pants, but that would be funny if I did. So it's definitely not deep carry. It doesn't bother me. That's what it looks like in the pocket. It is a little wider because of the sheep's foot blade. So if that's an issue for you, it is a little wide in the pocket. But it's so small, and like this and these LA Police Gear jeans, it disappears in that top pocket, and my 511s it actually disappears in the 5th pocket. So it could be a 5th pocket knife. I know most of the time 5th pocket knives are a little smaller than that, but easily could be that. The clip is really nicely done though. Titanium with, you know, a really good amount of clearance there. Just easy to get in and out of the pocket. No problem, good retention. So it doesn't create any hot spots in the knife at all, which is important on a pocket clip. What else? The finish on the handle is really nice. It's just a gray titanium, but it just has like a really smooth finish on it. What the actual finish is, I'm not sure, but it is, you know, if it's like, it's not like a stone washed, you know, finish or anything like that. So that I'm not 100% sure on what it is. It just feels really nice in the hand. So that's all I care about, honestly. So Chris Conway, like I said, is the designer from Sheepdog Knives. So one thing that I was interested in this guy was to see if you could, so it has this thumb ramp, right? And this thumb stud, I mean. And it also, on the backside, you'll notice it's removable. It has a screw right there. It's just a T, I think it's a T6, maybe a T8 to remove that. And I was curious, does this, you know, can you move that thumb stud to the other side? That's what I was curious about, because I had this idea in my mind. I saw a video by 7 Ready Knife Reviews. I believe he's out of Switzerland. And I saw his review and I thought, I wonder if you can flip that around and if you can then middle finger flick this knife, because that's how a lot of us like to open our knives, right? So I thought maybe you could do that. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It's when you take apart the knife, when I take off the thumb stud, there's actually like an indent on the blade for that to sit in. And on this side, it doesn't have that, so it won't work. So it is a single thumb stud opening method, but the action's so smooth and it's easy to flick either way. The thumb, I feel what calling it a thumb stud technically is. It just is not like any other thumb stud you've seen before. See how it's like stepped. But it works fantastic. It's just easy to deploy. Now that's the only method though. You can't, like, you know, there's no middle finger flicking, there's no flipper or anything like that, but that's okay. It's such a good performing cutting knife. It's so comfortable in the hand. It's just, it's slicey. It's, you know, really nice carry. Big fan of it. Let's talk about value. $207 gets you titanium handles, S35 VN steel. Pretty standard, I would say. Not the best deal in the world, but not, you know, not overly priced at all. Kind of where you would think it would fall. I find Kansept quality to be a little bit higher than Kaiser. I would say pretty close to on par with Wee knives, maybe even, I mean, I've got 3 sample sizes. So I have the Cryo, which is not up here. I've got the Main Street. Now I've got this, and all 3 have come perfectly centered, had great actions, no issues, no blade play. You know, I haven't had to disassemble or do anything to any of them. So my sample size of 3 knives has been very good from Kansept. I think these are some of their newer models, so maybe that speaks to that. But I wouldn't hesitate to buy one. I'm looking at the Kaiser, I think it's, or not the Kaiser, the Kansept Shard has a Timascus handle on the titanium. I like that one quite a bit. There's the Justin Lundquist. I can't think of the model, but it's a collaboration with him that I'm interested in. So I'm a big fan of these guys. I think they're doing really good work, and I think their fit and finish is really nice. It just, like I said, it feels like an upper scale Kaiser to me. I think I watched the Metal Complex video, and I think he said something very similar. So overall, guys, I think it's a good buy. Remember, so I got this from Justin at White Mountain Knives. Want to shout out his store. Make sure you check it out. I do have a discount code. I'll leave it in the description. It's EDCWMK. EDCWMK will give you 10% off your purchase. I don't get any kickbacks, you know, anything like that, but, you know, gives you an extra 10% off, helps a small business. I'm all about, he did, you know, I do buy a lot of knives from him. I bought this one from him as well as the Main Street. So definitely check him out. Go check out his store. Use that code for 10% off your purchase. But I think the Convict is a home run. So let's go ahead and put in some cutting footage. I'll just speed it up so there's no sound, just doing some cardboard, but it just glides through cardboard, guys. It's if that's your main purpose of a knife, is cardboard cutting, this is a great choice. So let me roll that footage in, then we'll wrap up the video. All right, guys, so you saw in there, lots of cardboard I processed. Use that and the main straight to do most of it. They both perform great. Again, blade shape is very, very good for breaking down boxes and cardboard. That's really 90% what I do besides cutting, you know, thread. Some food prep. I think a sheep's foot blade like this is good for all those kind of things. It's just a good overall blade shape, and that's just, I think, a really good looking knife. My only criticism of the knife is they did like this gold pivot in standoffs, and they didn't do that to the screws. Would have made sense. It's also the same kind of finish on the thumb stud. It's actually a little different. It doesn't really match. I wish there would have been more bronze. This is more gold, that's more bronze. One, you know, nitpick there, and I don't love the 4 handle screws. I don't think that's necessary. There's 4 standoffs. Could have got away with 2 or 3, but 2 would have been fine, and you would have had a more clean look, but that's just part of the design. And it doesn't take away from the performance of the knife. You know, it doesn't make it not a great, you know, purchase. It is really good. Really dig it. So definitely going to be one in the EDC rotation I could see for a while. All right, guys. Thanks for watching my review on this guy. Leave your comments down below, and we'll see you next time.